everyone. Welcome to another exciting conversation. Today, we have Alicia Lyttle. She is the founder of POW Social, a digital marketing agency based on the island of Jamaica. She also produces a weekly segment on Jamaica's public broadcasting channel, PBCJ, called The Digital Jampreneur that teaches everyday people how to use the internet to improve lives. Alicia's mission, I coach others on how to dominate their niche and build a seven-figure online empire. That's pretty good. So let's listen to a life-changing conversation, and my co-host, Chris Daly, will do the interview. So take it away, Chris.
Hey, Janice, thank you. And Alicia, welcome to our Jamaican chat conversation.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here and honored. Thanks again.
Great. It's great having you. Your roots to Jamaica may be a little different journey to have this Jamaican root. Tell us a little about your Jamaican roots and journey.
Yes. So my dad, born and raised in Jamaica. He left when he was in college, but every year as we grew up, me and my sister grew up, we headed right to Jamaica for the summers, and we visited my grandpa who was in Maypen, so we remember the days of the goats and the cows and the chickens. And I moved to Jamaica permanently 7 years ago. So 7 years ago, I called Jamaica home, and I'm excited that I made that journey kind of round full circle and back, and it was a great journey being in Jamaica, and I felt that I was coming home, so it was a good experience for me.
Boy, are we jealous of you. But when you have entrepreneurial skills, you can make those kind of moves.
That's right.
So give us
That's
a
right.
first sense, when you get this entrepreneurial bug, is it in your DNA? How did you first realize your calling here?
Absolutely. I do believe that it is in my DNA, but when I was younger, probably about 11 years old, and my sister was 9, we read this book called The Babysitter's Club. It's, a little girl's book, and inside of it, these girls had started their business, and they were our same age. So my sister and I decided to start a dog sitting business. So we made flyers, hand-drawn flyers with crayons, passed it out in our neighbors' mailboxes, and we got a bite. Our next door neighbor asked us to dog sit. So they went away for a week. We watched their dog, and my mom cleaned houses for a living. So my sister and I knew how to clean houses. And before the people came back from their vacation, we were only getting paid for dog sitting, but we cleaned their entire house the way our mom taught us. And so when they got home, they came home to a happy dog that was always larger than when they left because we overfed them. And then they came home to a clean house. So we over-delivered and became so popular in the neighborhood. Years later, the neighbor told us that they used to plan to go away just to have me and my sister dog sit so they could come home to a clean house. We did their laundry and everything. So that's our little journey as an entrepreneur, and our parents were so supportive and helping us and pushing us to be entrepreneurs that even though our paths in education weren't pointing towards entrepreneurship, once we became adults, both of us became entrepreneurs.
So you didn't go with a classic lemonade stand. You went with a dog sitting idea.
We did. We went with dog sitting. We did, and it worked. And we loved
That's
it.
That's a great, great initiative. So did you, as a youngster, apart from dog sitting and cleaning, did you have any other initiative that you tried?
Absolutely. We made bracelets. Back in the day, there were these friendship bracelets, and me and my sister would make the bracelets and sell it at the water park. We did all these little entrepreneurship stuff when we were little, and we really enjoyed it, and our parents really started to see us get our little hustle on. It wasn't until I looked back on it that I really realized that, when we were younger, we had no fear. We were like, let's make these bracelets and sell them at the front of the water park. Let's make, crayon flyers and put them in the neighbors' mailboxes. And so I think, when your children have that bug, to support it is so important, and let them, go in all these little directions. I see this with my niece, my sister's daughter. She has her own Instagram channel, and she's, selling different things, and she's 7 years old, but she's already got the bug, and we just push it and support it. And that's so important to do in children.
Boy, so fortunate to have an aunt and a mother with that kind of DNA instinct. She's blessed in these days. So
that's right.
You move from bracelets and dog sitting to becoming digital. Give us a little. When did you discover the internet,
Sure.
and how was your journey there?
Sure. So out of college, I did my undergrad and my master's at Tulane University in geology and environmental science. Go figure. And then I went to Washington, D.C. to work. And while I was in Washington, D.C., I started dating a man who I eventually married. But he wanted to see how to turn his knowledge into an online course. This was back in the year 2000, so 20 years ago. So he started to say, hey, could you help me figure this out? And I was so excited about this new, wonderful world of the internet, new to me. So we did. We got on teleseminars like this one. Armin Morin and Alex Mendocian were our actual mentors back then, right? So we're talking back in the days of instant teleseminar. And we used to listen to teleseminars every night. I love how this is coming around circle, but we used to listen to teleseminars and learn. We'd listen on the phone to someone teach how to build a website. It was just an amazing time. And that's how I got started in it. So I was actually working on my PhD at the University of Michigan and exploring online entrepreneurship at the same time. And eventually I would drop out of the PhD program just to be a full-time digital entrepreneur, and, absolutely loved it. So, yeah.
Boy, you don't know much. It tickles me. I'm also a Wolverine, if you can believe that. I went to University of Michigan. So I'm a Wolverine. And Alex Mendoza is one of the persons I followed. So as you said, this instant teleseminar I learned from Alex, actually. So you're right. It's a journey in entrepreneurship, having these kind of tools and the like.
It is. Tools are so important, and instant teleseminar was the first tool that I ever used to really get into the internet marketing game and try to figure it all out. So, yeah.
I
20 years ago.
As we're using it now, because I
right.
have phone is their technology, and if we wanted to speak to people in Jamaica, they may not have some of the other tools. So I still have this in my toolkit. Yeah. But you've been there in Jamaica for 7 years, he said, and now you've taken and you've brought this idea of entrepreneurship and the importance of that to start this Mom. Could you repeat that for me? How do you call the program you started there? Jampreneur?
The digital Jampreneur, yes, Jamaican entrepreneur. I kind of took those two words and just slammed them together and see what came out. So we call it Jampreneur.
Okay. So give us the overall goal and mission and vision of this Jampreneur.
Sure. So the digital Jampreneur is on PBCJ, which is Jamaica's public broadcasting channel, and they actually contacted me. I think they saw one of the ads I was running, and they contacted me and asked me if I would do a show. Now, the show's starting COVID time, so they asked me if I could actually self-produce the show. So the whole show, I think we've done 11 episodes now, or 12 episodes, is just produced at home using a webcam or my camera or my iPhone sometimes. I've produced a few episodes using my iPhone, and then it airs on Monday nights, and it repeats again on, I think, Tuesday and Friday, and then they put it on their social media channels and on YouTube. But the goal of it is to help Jamaicans understand the internet space. So I don't just teach on the show how to make money on the internet, but I teach, different tools. You said that you love tools, Chris. I love tools. I'm teaching them how to use, Google Drive, Gmail, Canva for graphic design. And then it's on TV, so they get to watch me do a 10-minute tutorial of some tool or interview someone, and that airs on public broadcasting in Jamaica. So I'm excited about the show and the reach, and just making sure that people know that there are resources and tools out there that can help them navigate this online space.
Indeed, indeed. As we're in this COVID world where fear is so dominant and people do not see opportunity, and I'm glad you're there to actually show the way for opportunities. As we move into this post-COVID-19 world, people are making the adaptation. They're going to be online. How do you share that vision with people that to get that insight that the world is becoming more digital, and if they're in the digital space, they'll have a pretty viable future?
Absolutely. So when I talk to people about post-COVID-19 and during this pandemic time and what they need to do, I tell them they need to pay attention to 4 words, and we have an acronym. It's AEPT, right? AEPT. The first thing is to accept, hey, look, we're now in the digital era. We were forced into it. I've been in this era for 20 years, but and people slowly were getting into the digital space, but now, bam, everybody's pushed into the digital space. So accept it. Stop trying to fight change. Accept it and see what you can do to the next word is embrace, right? So A is accept, E is embrace. Embrace it and say, you know what? This might be my time. This might be my opportunity. I have an idea. I have a business I want to start. Now I can start it in the online space. And then the P stands for pivot. You have to learn how to take what you were doing before, either in your career or your, business, and figure out how to pivot to be, to thrive in the times that we're in now, right? If you cannot figure out your pivot, if you cannot figure out what you need to do to really thrive in this time, you have to step back for a minute and say, I know I need to make a pivot, but what is it? And then the last one is the T, is to transform. You have to transform yourself from your traditional way of thinking to the new way of thinking, which is the digital spaces where things happen, right? Right now, people are working from home, working online, and that's never going to change. In fact, I see the world as changing more towards the digital space overall. Even when everyone says it's safe to go back to work, we have, the vaccine, there's going to be so many companies out there that are going to say, just like I made the decision, that we're totally digital. My social media agency had an office in Kingston. We sent all the workers home maybe a little bit before April 1st. Before Jamaica said it's time to send everybody home, everybody was already home in our office. And then in August, we actually closed the office and gave the landlord back the key because we're operating so well in the digital space. We don't have the transportation headache to get to the office in Kingston from as far as, our staff is as far as Old Harbor, right? So they don't have that headache. We don't have the, how much money they're saving by, and time they're saving by working from home. We are more productive working from home than we were working in the office, right? We're connecting with our customers better at home than the office because it takes a minute to pull up Zoom and say, hey, let's do a brainstorming. Let's talk about your project. So, you asked me the question, what insight to share with people as they look to becoming more viable in the future? Accept it, embrace it, understand what your pivot is, and transform today. Transform today. And you'll see that, there are some blessings in what's happening to us right now. There is a little bit of a silver lining where we can say, all right, maybe this is my time. Maybe I can do something. And maybe today is the day that I started.
Great. So Jamaica is known for its heavy governmental involvement in the economy. And so the government cannot be isolated from all that people want to do. If you could whisper in the Prime Minister's year one policy that they could do to promote online careers, what would that be?
It would be to fund training and learning in online entrepreneurship. It would be to put an emphasis on training and online learning for entrepreneurship. They are spending money, helping people and giving them classes to take, and they are spending money there. But if they just said, you know what, the people that are unemployed, why don't we put them into a program that teaches them online entrepreneurship? Because you do not have to be unemployed. There are millions of companies globally that are looking for skills and talents, and the people of Jamaica can offer those skills and talents. My goal is to make Jamaica the hub when you think of where you're going to outsource to. So traditionally, it's been the Philippines, it's been India before the Philippines. Now it's moving to Jamaica. Jamaica, we want it to be the place where companies say, oh, I need a website designer, I need a graphic designer, I need a virtual assistant. Let's see who's available in Jamaica, because they've got the best people geared and ready for, embracing this online world. And they've taken classes. They have the skills and the talents that they need to be able to provide those services to us that we need. So, if I could say anything to the Prime Minister, I would say, Mr. Prime Minister, let's focus on the global economy and getting our people ready for the global economy. It's what I do every day with my company, Internet Income Jamaica, but we can only do so much. I can only put out so many ads, right? I can only do what I can do, but I would tell him, let's go, come on, there's opportunity. I would share with him 1,000 success stories. I would show him what we're doing and what people are doing and say, we can, Chris, I went and spoke at Walmart Tech Live. It was one of Walmart's events. Wow. And they had me speak on a topic that I had been talking about on social media. And it was that I said that I have the cure for poverty in developing countries. And I said the cure was to expose the people to online entrepreneurship and help them and support them to where they don't have to depend on the local economy, but they can go global and bring U.S. dollars in to that country and build the economy as a whole.
This is neat. For that to happen, it's going to take a different mindset, right?
Yes.
It's not a job-based mindset. It's one of taking
Correct.
risks and the like. Share what kind of insight you've been sharing with your students to let them embrace the right mindset for entrepreneurship.
It's a good question. See, I always tell my student, mindset is 80% of what you need to be successful, and the skill is only 20%. The how-to is 20%. Everybody thinks it's the opposite way, or they think that the skill is 100%. If you don't have the mindset to say, this is what I want to do, I can do it, then you're out, right? Mindset is 80% of your, if you want to be successful in this game, 80% of the road and the path to success is mindset. And what do you have to do? You have to understand that the most powerful computer you'll ever work with is this one that's in your skull. It's your brain, right? Talk to yourself, feed your brain. As children, we're forced to learn in school. A lot of us love learning and embrace it. So why do we stop as adults, right? That's the time when you need to be building your brain the most. And unfortunately in Jamaica, as opposed to in the U.S., there's not a lot of motivational seminars, or we don't have a lot of exposure to experts who are teaching mindset, right? 2 years in a row, I brought Les Brown. Me and my business partners brought Les Brown into Jamaica. Yeah, 1 year we brought Jack Canfield into Jamaica, and we filled the Jamaica Conference Center. But that was only 1,200 people out of 2.7 million that got to hear the message about mindset. Right? Mindset needs to be at the forefront of our messages, and we need to be telling everyone, that people, if you're not taught about the importance of mindset, like you asking me this question, Chris, you obviously understand the importance of mindset, but if you're not taught the importance of mindset, then, which a lot of people aren't, then you're at a disadvantage. So, yeah, mindset, 80% of the game.
Amen. Well, so share with us, we know mindset is clearly one of the stuff you do. What other components do you capture in this online learning seminar that you have?
Sure. So what we teach people are the skills that you need to succeed in the online world. And there's two things. There's two ways that you can build your online empire, Chris. Way number one is that you can say, you know what, I'm going to take my passions and turn them into profits online. For example, you're really great at interviewing and you have a great voice. So you might go online and say, you know what, I'm going to be a professional interviewer. People are going to pay me to interview them, or I'm going to do voiceover. So you're going to take your passions and your skills and use that as a service online. Other people might say, you know what, I don't really have anything I want to do. So they're going to learn a new skill. So we have classes in voiceover, transcription, like how to get paid to make money typing, like all different areas, social media marketing, all different areas that someone would want to dive into to earn online. We teach them those skills. So once they say, yes, I'm ready, yes, I'm hungry, yes, I want to do it, that's the mindset. Now they say yes to the skills. Yes, I'm ready to learn a new skill. Yes, I'm ready to do the how-to. And then you put those two together, and that's the winning combination right there.
Boy, that's a great formula, Alicia. So I'm pretty sure you have any success stories you'd like to share of some of the journeys you have taken folks through with this really great philosophy?
Oh, yes. I mean, I have a million, but I'll tell you one of my favorites because her birthday was a few days ago, and I posted on Facebook and said happy birthday to her because I'm so proud of this young lady. Her name is Sonia, and she came to my class years ago. She was 17 years old when she came to my class, and she had run away from home at the age of 13, suffered unspeakable abuse, and ran away from Montego Bay to Kingston and living with strangers up until she was 17. And she came to my class with a 7th grade education, but she came with the desire to want a better life for herself. She wasn't making excuses. This is someone's story that if you heard it, you would say, oh man, right? You would give her all the permission in the book to not live life to her fullest potential. But everything that she'd gone through, she still pushed for better. So she came to my class. She learned how to make money doing appointment setting and telephone calls, and she became extremely successful at it, right? She moved out of the situation she was in. She got her own place. Now she's 24 years old. She's traveled to the Dominican Republic, to Panama. She called me when she was in Panama. She's like, I have the penthouse suite in Panama. Me, 7th grade education, right? And the thing is that she had the will and the desire to really make it happen, and that's all it takes. I mean, our students are from 7th grade education to PhDs. The thing is, you have to be hungry for it. You have to be willing to do it. You have to be willing to lose sleep over it. If you want success bad enough that you're willing to lose sleep over it, that you're dreaming about it, that's when you'll become successful. And so I could share with you a million success stories, but let me just tell you one thing, that people out there are doing this. I've been teaching this in Jamaica for 10 years. People out there are making amazing living. I asked her what her best month online was. She said $6,000 US. Living in Jamaica, $6,000 US, right? She's happy. She's excited. No, I'm like, no wonder you keep sending me love notes, right? I mean, she is not someone that was voted most likely to succeed. Hey, she didn't even go to finish high school to even get, an opportunity to be voted most likely not to succeed. But yet, here she is doing her thing. So many stories like that. It's the hunger and the desire to win. We're in this to win. We're pushing our lives to the next level because we want to win. So if you want to win at life, there are so many tools and resources. Of course, I have training, but I'm telling you, there's so many tools and resources out there. You just have to say, I'm hungry, this is something I want, and I'm ready to win.
Great. So do you have, apart from, along with the training, do you have a placement program also, or what happens after they graduate from your service?
Sure. So when they're done with our course, and our course is interactive, so it's like, we teach them something, they do it. We teach them, they do it. We teach them how to work on a website called Fiverr.com, Fiverr.com. Yeah. And so as they finish, we give them their assignment. So on Fiverr, they have to post 7 services that they can do. And then they have to post those services every day on social media. They have to do something called buyer requests. So they have to do a series of things, which helps them to get their first job, their second job, their third job. And then we've got a support group in Facebook that everybody's in this Facebook support group, helping each other, giving each other jobs. A lot of our students get their first job from a student who took the course before them, because that student now has too much work and will outsource the work to the newbies coming in, right? So we always have to have a pipeline of new people coming in to help support the previous students who have too much work coming in. And that's kind of how our pipeline of students work. Did I answer your question?
Oh, you did. Well, I'm here smiling because I use Fiverr, but I didn't even know this source was here. Today I placed 2 Fiverr jobs. That's how much I use it. So this is a great place. It's the gig economy is a growing economy where entrepreneurs really can practice this stuff. So, folks, how do they sign up for your program? There's a program.
Now, let me just go back. I just want to step back for a half a second. All right, for 2 minutes, based on something you just said. You just said that you placed 2 jobs on Fiverr. Now, tell me what the agency is that you have, the business that you have.
I do basically 4 things. I do. I build websites for folks. I do reputation marketing. I get them paid traffic, and I do social media services, along with some press releases and the like. So I need folks to do graphics for me. Today I gave 2 jobs to do intro, outro for videos. So for my clients. So I do more the consulted services. But all of the fulfillment services, actually, right now I have partners in, you mentioned before, India and in the Philippines doing those services. And I've longed to bring that kind of service within my own community. So boy, I'm just laughing and tickled pink to meet somebody with you with this type of services.
Let me just stop there for a second, because you can also use Fiverr to get new clients. So for websites, one of the services that I used to have is that I used to review people's websites as a user, and it's called usability testing. So I would test somebody's website. I would use a tool called Loom and record myself going through the website. And all the things that were broken, I would say, oh, my God, this is broken. And if you fixed it, people would stay on your website longer. You'd be making money. I'd send them the 5-minute video. What do you think happened after I send them this video talking about all the things that are wrong on their site? They would ask me if I could do
we
the
have an
website
audit
for them.
just like that, and we give them we give them a grade. We grade the entire visibility on the web. We look at their reputation. If some people have bad reviews and didn't even know it, and so we give them a report and a grade for and it's a great tool service that we've stopped charging people for, because, as I say, it's a good way of engaging traffic. So it's,
but imagine if you put up a service on Fiverr offering that for just $5 to do that for somebody. The minute they hire you to do that, you've got them as a client, and they will. You can now take them off of Fiverr, and they'll pay you a monthly retainer to do that work. So someone like you who's outsourcing a lot of the work on Fiverr, when you're ready for more clients, put some small service on Fiverr that they'll hire you for. It's the hook. You hook them. They buy that service for you. And then you reel them in and you offer them the mega service, your better service. I have a bookkeeper student in New York. Her name is Carrie. Jamaican, lives in New York, and she took one of my courses. But she is getting 1 to 2 new bookkeeping clients on retainer from Fiverr. She has a gig up on Fiverr for bookkeeping, and she just does 1 week of bookkeeping and gives them some advice. They love her so much. She then sets up monthly retainers with them. So the last time I talked to her was about the month of August, and she made an extra $5,000 just from the clients that she's doing bookkeeping for that she pulled from Fiverr. Fiverr's a great place to generate leads for your business as well.
You're right. You're very right. Yeah.
Just going, because we might have some people listening to this that have businesses and are like, how does this apply to me, right? What can I do to grow my business? And so, yeah. Anyway, all right. So your question about my program, you were asking me about my program.
How does your program work? You have like a semester type of stuff, or how does it work?
Sure. So at Internet Income Jamaica, what we do is we offer online on-demand courses. So you can take one of our courses anytime. It's on demand, and take it from the comfort of your home. So about 18 months before COVID started, we had put all of our classes online just because they were going so international. So now, doesn't matter where you live in the world, you can go to internetincomejamaica.com, click on courses, and take any of our courses from home. They're all digital. They're all self-paced home study courses now.
This is wonderful. This is great.
Yeah.
Well, you've just put up a treasure trove of information and content and training that people can do at their own pace. So thank you. We'll look back years and we'll see how much difference this has made in the economy of Jamaica, for sure.
Great. Thank you. Thank you.
So as we close, do you have any parting wisdom to share with folks?
Yeah. So as we close, and thanks once again to both of you for inviting me to be here today. My parting wisdom is that it's possible. Those are the words of Les Brown, the all-time favorite motivational speaker and the world's best inspirational, guru of all time. It's possible, right? There's so many of us that have hopes and dreams, but we might not have the courage to go out there and do the things that our heart so desires. But so many of us have a calling that's deep within us and in our heart. And I just want to make sure that your people that are listening to this, at the end of their life, that they have no regrets. They said, I followed that calling that was in my heart. I knew that there was something bigger for me, and I went after it, right? So understand that following your dreams and seeing success in them, although you might fail 10 times to succeed half of one, although you might fail another 100 to get ahead one more step, just know that it's possible. Never give up. Never give up. The finish line always moves, right? This is not the marathon where the finish line is stagnant. The finish line always moves. Keep running. Keep going. 1 foot in front of the other. 1 foot in front of the other. It's possible, and you can do it.
Amen.
Nice. So to learn more about Chris Daly, visit Media to Grow. That's the number 2grow, media2grow.com, to learn more about Jamaican diaspora.
Digital2grow.com.
Oh, sorry. Digital2grow.com. You hear that? Sorry. And to learn more about Jamaican diaspora, visit JamaicanDiaspora.com. And to learn all what Alicia's bringing to the table and future income, visit InternetIncomeJamaica.com. Alicia, we really appreciate you spending some time with us.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Thank you. Bye.